Since Lore's goal is to enable you to focus solely on React itself, the first thing it does is take care of some basic needs. There's an index.html file at the root of the project, which is what gets served to the browser. You can see a div where the application goes, another div to help with dialogues, and the bundle.js file that's generated by Webpack. The index.js file is the main entry point for the application, the target that Webpack uses as the entry point. This file is responsible for pulling in Lore, which goes through all of the files and folders in the project and ultimately builds the application and mounts it to the DOM. This means that you don't have to worry about how to mount a React application, and you're freed up a bit to just focus on building components. And for that, we're going to look at the source directory. There are two components that Lore provides by default. The first component is master, which wraps the entire application and ultimately determines when the rest of the application loads. A common use case for this component would be to display a loading experience once the application is mounted, such as while you're waiting to fetch information about the current user from the server. Additionally, the master component is also automatically subscribed to the Redux store, which means your application will automatically re-render as data changes. In most cases, excluding performance optimizations, this is the only component that will need to be subscribed. This component is more about function than form, however, as it primarily exists to drive behavior. The other component, layout, is all about form. The layout component is just a placeholder, and it's recommended that you use this to describe the structure of your application, especially if you have components that are always displayed regardless of the current route, such as a static header. Now keep in mind that you don't have to use either of these components, and there's nothing magical or critical about either of them, and you could in fact delete them both. They simply exist as a recommendation for a good development pattern.